Thanks for supporting the channel by clicking the links in the description box. And thank you so much for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And now let's get into this podversation. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Being Beautifully Honest channel. And we're going to have a podversation about a few people. To begin, we're going to talk about Stacey Dash. Now, she is coming out and apologizing for a lot of controversial comments that she's made in the past. And she pretty much is saying that, the comments were very arrogant and prideful and angry. And so we're going to talk about this because I want to know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you feel that her apology is genuine and should it be accepted? And do you feel that she's being honest about what she is saying? Now, it's pretty sad because she's had a very public downfall because in the recent years, she has been arrested. She's been arrested due to a domestic dispute with her now, I believe, ex-husband, because I believe they may have already gotten divorced, but at the time they were married, and just a number of things that have come out about that. And she was previously a host on the Fox News network, but when she's referenced as, most of the time, the actress from the movie Clueless. And let's just be honest, that probably was one of her most well-known stints in Hollywood as Alicia Silverstone's castmate on the movie Clueless. And at the time, I believe she was in her 30s when that was filmed. And when was that? Maybe, I don't know, 93, 94? So that was a very long time ago. So she's being referenced as the actress from Clueless, but she became a political commentator on the Fox News network for, several years. And of course, this was during the years of the presidency of the former president of the United States. So she's gone from making statements about Black History Month, being against it, being against the BET network, and she's even called Maxine Waters, the representative, a corrupt buffoon. Now, everybody's entitled to their opinions, okay? But she just hasn't held back on a lot of things. And being on the Fox News network, especially as a Black woman, they probably prompted her to do these things. But I don't want to say that it is necessarily their fault that she came out and made the statements that she's made, okay? But she's apologizing now, and she says, quote, "I live my life being angry, which is what I was on Fox News. I was the angry, conservative Black woman. And at that time in my life, it was who I was. I realized in 2016 that anger is unsustainable and it will destroy you. I made a lot of mistakes because of that anger. There are things that I am sorry for, things that I did say that I should not have said them the way I said them. They were very arrogant and prideful and angry. And that's who Stacey was, but that's not who Stacey is now. Stacey's someone who has compassion, empathy. God has forgiven me. How dare I not forgive someone else? I don't want to be judged, so how dare I judge anyone else? So if anyone has ever felt that way about me, like I've judged, that I apologize for, because that's not who I am." And, she's been a supporter of the former president. She even did a little bit of a campaign for Congress, and she referenced being a supporter of him. So that alone put her in a box with a lot of people, especially in the African American community, because it's not so much that you decided to vote for who you decided to vote for, but when you are adding vitriol to that and you're doing it in a way that is seen as antagonistic and in a way to just really get people riled up and get people angry, then that's when people have a problem with it, because there are a lot of Black people that had voted for the previous president, and they just vote for who they voted for. They didn't come out and and call other people names or tear other people down because they decided to support who they decided to support. But she wants to focus on acting again. And she says, I've basically been blacklisted. Being a black conservative is not easy. This idea that people think I'm coming from a place of judgment with the things I believe, no, it's experience. I'm from the hood. The codes of the street are very conservative. If you're not a hustler, if you don't know how to hustle, how to make your money, you're a lamb for the slaughter. So I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that she can blame Fox News for her being seen as the angry black woman? Yes, she has apologized. And I'm one of those people, I feel like if somebody is sincere, then I can accept their apology. Does that mean I have to deal with them? Do I have to mess with them? Do I have to, like some people say, F with that person? Probably not. I really don't care either way because it wasn't like I was someone that was a fangirl of hers. So it really doesn't matter to me. But you know, I wish her well and hope that she finds grace in her life moving forward. I'm not so sure about the acting career. And to be honest with you, I don't even think it's so much so that she's been blacklisted, but, you know, because of her views and coming out to be the supporter of Trump and being on the Fox News network and just making a lot of what people would view as disparaging comments against the African American community. But I feel like she used that because when it came down to her being on that show Single Ladies, where it was her, Lisa Ray, and forgive me, I don't remember who the other actress was that played on that show, they actually got into a fight, Lisa Ray and Stacey Dash, and a lot of people sided with Lisa Ray. So in my opinion, I feel like the things that Stacey did, going to the Fox network and becoming a commentator, a host or whatever, and just really going hard against the African American community and a lot of the things that the community stood for, was in retaliation because she felt like they chose Lisa Ray over her in a way. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's where it all kind of came from. And she admitted it. She said, you know, she came from a place of being angry. So, because if you think about it, it's like, what were you so angry about before you got to become a commentator on the Fox News network and becoming a supporter of Trump? Like, what made you angry before that? What made you angry before that? And so that's where I feel like it stems from. But again, I could be wrong. I don't know a whole lot about her background. I just know that to this day, she's being referenced as the actress from Clueless. And I mean, look how long ago that was. They don't even really reference her as in, you know, being an actress from the show Single Ladies, which had several seasons. It wasn't a very long running show, but it was a pretty good show for what it was. So yeah, what do you guys think? What do you think really made her angry to get to that point of, you know, so-called turning her back against the African American community and going hard against it, and now having a come to Jesus moment and just turning her ways around and saying, you know what, that's not who I am now. That's who I was, but that's not who I am today. And do you feel that that was a part of the agenda that Fox News said, okay, if you're going to be on this network, this is what you have to do. This is who you have to be. All right. And finally, George Floyd's family has received the news that they have been granted one of the largest settlements in Minnesota's history for the family. And right now they're reporting that it's $27 million, and the city of Minneapolis has agreed under the terms of the settlement to spend $500,000 on improvements to the intersection at 38th Street and Chicago Avenue where Floyd passed away, where he died. Or shall we say he lost his life due to the actions of a police officer, right? And the location, it's come to be known as George Floyd Square. But I'm not going to go into a whole lot of details about this. Look, it is very tragic that he lost his life, definitely. And there's been so much already given to this family by a lot of people who chose to be very generous and give, you know, a lot of stuff since the situation happened last summer, right? But the attorney representing the family and his legal team, Benjamin Crump, we all have become familiar with his name, right? He is the lead attorney in this situation who was representing the family, who has gotten, with the back and forth negotiations to try to come to some type of settlement in the civil lawsuit that was brought against the city for the loss of George Floyd. He is the one, shall we say, has orchestrated this settlement. Now, Benjamin Crump is now known for being that attorney, just as Gloria Allred and Lisa, whatever her last name is, I can't remember right now, Gloria Allred's daughter, Lisa Bloom, I believe is her name, but how they've become known and synonymous with taking the cases of women who accuse men with big names of, inappropriate things, and, they finally come to some sort of financial settlement. Benjamin Crump has become known as that attorney who represents, people in situations like this. But look, I get it. Attorneys, they're going to represent people who they believe that they can really I don't even want to say they can really help, but they believe that there's going to be some gain in it for them. But the issue that I have in the situation with Benjamin Crump is he's being, shall we say, noted as the attorney who fights for like civil justice. And I'm not saying he's not doing his fair share of that, but he's just really become known as that attorney who's going to get that money. So out of the settlement that has been granted to the family, how much of that is he going to get? I would really love to know that. And if you guys have the answer for me, let me know in the comment section, because I'm very interested. Because I feel like, yeah, you're an attorney, you're doing a job, you're not pro bono representing these people. But if you're really fighting for social justice, then should you be getting a huge chunk of that money, or maybe you should not be? I don't know, but I just really want to know what you guys think about it, because again, it's another high profile case where he's representing someone where he feels like this is somebody that I really can get a large settlement for. And of course, with the situation with George Floyd, that was going to happen. And what do you guys think about this happening right before this trial really gets underway? Do you feel that this is like them saying, okay, we're going to go ahead and do this, but these officers are not going to be found guilty? Similar to the situation with Breonna Taylor, even though those officers were never even charged, but they got one of the largest settlements there, and that happened prior to the announcement that they were not going to be charging the officers in that situation. So I really just want to get your take on it, guys. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts respectfully. And I appreciate you guys liking, commenting, and subscribing. And until the next episode, I'm just being beautifully honest.